to talk about that more loudly and more forcefully because there is a difference in recycling different materials.
Hmm.
There are very different economics involved. There are certain
Definitely.
materials for which there's a water line below which it's really not economically feasible to recycle the material, but we'll do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. That line doesn't exist for aluminum. There is no last unit that is not desirable in the recycling world. Every unit is desirable and we want every one of them. And so getting that message out there, and look, we have, because when consumer preferences for packaging material are driven by sustainable choices, then they're getting. We can do more, but I'd like to, not everything is failing here. The industry is doing a good
Right.
job of getting this message out to end users.
Right. I am 100% agree with you, and this is one of the reasons that we are, promoting the podcast, because actually we want to get this information into the people, for the people to understand what's going on and how important it is to do it. But also, with all the tariff that we are seeing right now, I know for a fact that some of the biggest players in the industry, like Coca-Cola, they will start putting more plastic bottles into the market instead to going into aluminum can. It is possible that we will see something like that, and how that will impact the recycling rate, for example. I know it's not an easy question, but what do you think
Well,
about it?
I don't want to put too many words in our customers' mouths. And so it's important and I hope you do reach out to those customers in the automotive world, in the packaging world, in the building and construction world, and find out firsthand from them what kind of material choices are going to be driven by these tariff policies. I will
Right.
tune in. I will tune in for that podcast. I very much want to hear those answers. Now, what we're seeing, though, as an industry is that first, it's important to acknowledge that aluminum is more tariff exposed than some of our competing materials. Not all of them, but at least some of them.
Why? Why is that?
Because, well, first and foremost, because our upstream, we're in metal deficit. And so we do have to import aluminum in the upstream. Now, when I say that, too often that lands with the general public as the whole aluminum industry is outside of the United States. Absolutely untrue.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if we opened every smelter today in the United States that we need to service our demand, that would be about, at most, 8 to 10,000 jobs. In the meantime, the industry is 164,000 jobs. And so it's not that's not where the industry is.
Nope.
The industry is our rolling mills, our extrusion plants, our cutting and slitting. And that's just within the boundaries of what I consider my membership for the forging facilities and so on and so forth. Outside of our facility, it's 700,000 jobs. That's the machinists, the metal service centers, the recycling facilities, 700,000 jobs against 8,000 smelting jobs. So that's
Yeah.
a really important thing to think about. But getting back to your question about why we are more